Hello and welcome to Leader's Kitchen. Today we are going to be cooking slow cooked ham hocks. So what we have here is we have 2 ham hocks here which have been soaking in just plain cold water for about an hour now. An onion, a couple of bay leaves and some peppercorns. And we also have a slow cooker here. So what I'm going to do is just slice the onion into 4. Don't worry too much about peeling it because we're not going to actually be eating this. It's only to help flavour the stock. So basically in quarters in the bottom of the slow cooker, a couple of bay leaves and half a dozen or so peppercorns. So there we go, in the bottom of the slow cooker. So into here we put the ham hocks. So we've got 2 quite big ham hocks here. This is a lovely cheap cut of meat. So, oh blimey, so I might struggle to get both of them in here. So yes, we are going to struggle to get both of them in here. So try and arrange them so they both fit, almost fit. See if we can get the lid on. Yeah, we can get the lid on. I'll put a little weight on the lid. So tip this water away because it's fairly salty, and also so now all we do is just top up the slow cooker with cold water until it's about a half an inch or so from the top of the slow cooker, like so. Switch slow cooker onto high, put the lid down, and that's it. Leave it for about leave that for about 5 to 6 hours. It's been about 5 or 6 hours now that you would have noticed during that time that it changed shape, and I had to readjust what was in the pot and actually put some weight on it to keep the lid on. This is because slow cookers work best with the lid on tightly. Thought this might happen once I put the actual meat into the slow cooker because of the size of it. What I'm basically going to do now is do some veg to go with this for our dinner tonight. As you can see, it's still bubbling away quite nice. I'm going to put this to one side and put this down onto a low heat now on there, just so it keeps ticking over still whilst we do the rest of the dinner. Oh, it's heavy. So what we're going to have for dinner tonight is some new potatoes, some carrots and some corn on the cob. Let me start with the potatoes. Get the food bin out of the way. Apparently on the camera. So all I'm going to do is give these potatoes a quick clean and half some of the slightly bigger ones and put them in some water to come up to a boil with some salt. So all I'm going to do is just cover them with water, almost, and put them onto a boil. What I'll do is put the lid on. Before I do that, pinch of salt in with them as well. So basically how I'm going to do these carrots tonight is I'm going to do them almost in a Vichy style. So what you do is into a cold pan or frying pan, about 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch of water in the bottom of the pan. So it's still not on the heat yet at all. Then good knob of butter in. So quite a large pinch of salt. And about 1/2 teaspoon of sugar as well. In with those. And what you do is you put them onto a medium-high heat and basically cook them until all the liquid's gone. The butter and the water becomes a glaze for the carrots, all at the same time. So potatoes on, those on, everything else is fine. Okay, so we've put some corn on the cob on. Also you'll notice I've put some spinach on to wilt down. You'll see the carrots, almost all the liquid's now gone, so I'm going to turn those down a little bit. So I'll be getting a lovely glaze from the mixture of butter and water. So in here the spuds are almost done. So what we'll do is now turn the slow cooker off. And what we'll do is we'll take one of these joints out, these ham hocks out, and let it rest if I can get hold of it. And I'll show you close up in a second. This ham hock. And what we'll be doing is we'll be taking the skin off the ham hock and then basically just picking the meat off. We're not actually going to carve it as such because the meat should fall off the bone relatively easily. Let's just have a check of that spinach. Starting to wilt down. All I've done with the spinach was put a knob of butter into the pan, let it melt. It's not on a medium heat. Put 2 good handfuls of spinach in, a few rasps of nutmeg, and that's it. Keep the lid on and then that will drain down. There. So I'll move this camera and you'll be able to see what I can see here with this meat. Zoom in a bit too much. Right, so what we'll do here is we'll just basically take the skin off. See, it's so super soft. You can hear those carrots are almost frying now. So I'll turn those, make sure they're right, almost off. Basically all I'm doing here is just taking most of the fat and the skin off of this ham hock. Oh, that's good. So there you go. It's the skin and most of the fat taken off the ham hock. And basically all we're going to do is lightly carve, and you see it almost falls off the bone. There's a bit of bone in there which we'll take out. So I'm not even cutting, I'm just pushing the knife through. So there's a bit of cartilage just here that I don't particularly want. See how easy that is to carve. So all I'm going to do is carve enough for 2 of us for dinner tonight, and the rest of this is for a lunch tomorrow we have with the family coming over, so we'll have this cold. So there we go. So carrots are there, almost done. Corn on the cob, basically there. Make sure the spinach isn't burning. It's brown in the bottom of the pan, don't worry about that too much. So we'll turn that off now. The spinach is now done. Calendar out. Right, everything's now off. Let's drain the spuds. So I've deliberately done too many potatoes because I'm going to probably do a potato salad for lunch tomorrow. Right. So there you have it, slow cooked ham hocks. I will be saving the stock that the ham hocks were cooked in for a probably a risotto during the week, but those ham hocks will last. We'll do us a nice family meal tomorrow and probably a couple of meals during the week.